Hi guys, this is Louis Holtzhausen from chessfox.com, and in this video I want to show you why the Visualwise training method is such a great way to improve your visualization skill. Now, to put the issue of visualization in perspective, let me ask you a question. Do you ever find yourself looking at a position and you want to calculate a move, but then soon after you start to calculate, you start over, because you're not sure if you're seeing everything the way you should? And then you look at the same move over and over just because you can't keep track of all the consequences. And eventually, you realize you are losing too much time on the clock, and then you make the move in any case, even though you're not quite sure if it's actually good. If this is you, you're not alone, because many chess players have this problem. And I can tell you from my experience that the only way to solve this issue is to work on your visualization skill, which is exactly what the Visualwise exercises will help you do. So how does the Visualwise training method work, and why does it work? I'll show you an example. Let me start by saying that when I create a new Visualwise exercise, I go through a database of actual games until I find a position where a nice tactic appeared. But, and now here's the trick, I don't show you the position where the tactic occurred. Instead, I go back a few moves and then show you how the position looked just a few moves before the tactic actually happened. So the position you see on the screen is where the exercise starts. And then, by using an arrow that appears on the board, you see the move that was played in the game. I don't actually move the piece on the board. This is the whole point. You have to visualize the move in your mind and think about what the move does. In this case, we can see that black played the bishop to e4, threatening to capture the queen. And when you go to the next page, you see that white responded by moving his queen to b3. If you think about this move, you will see that white is threatening to capture the pawn on b7. But at the same time, you should realize that the white queen doesn't defend the d4 pawn anymore. Next, you must visualize the position that would appear on the board after black played the bishop to e4, and white replied by playing the queen to b3, and try to find the tactic in that position. Now, I'm sure you can see what's happening here. You are forcing your mind to visualize the consequences of those moves, which is exactly what you need to do if you want to improve your visualization skill. And the best part of this training is that it doesn't really matter whether you find the tactic or not. That's not really the point. You are still improving your visualization skill because you are trying to find the solution in an imaginary position. You will note that using arrows that appear on the board is a much better way to train than having to read from chess notation, because when you read notation, you must constantly take your eyes away from the board. This isn't ideal because, first of all, it breaks your concentration, and secondly, that is not what you would do in a real game. In a real game, your eyes would be fixed on the board, and there would be no need to take your eyes off the board to read the next move from notation. And this is essentially why Visualwise exercises are so effective, because it simulates how you would visualize moves in an actual game. Now, to show you the solution in this position, this is the position you have to visualize. You can see the position on the right side. And black could play the queen to d4, capturing the pawn that's now undefended, and check the white king, and on the next move, the queen will capture the knight. Probably not the rook, because white will block the check by playing the bishop to e3. And when white blocks the check while playing the bishop to e3, note that the bishop will be defended by the queen, and then the rook on f1 will defend the rook on a1, so black will play queen takes e5. Now, below this video you will find a link to purchase your copy of Visualwise, and I assure you that you will enjoy the confidence you gain from improving your visualization skill this way. Thanks for watching. Cheers.